Welcome to our channel History of Coins, where we explore the hidden gems of numismatics. In today's video, we're diving into the fascinating world of U.S. state quarter-dollar coins, as some of these coins are rare and can make you rich overnight. In this video, we are gonna uncover the rarest coins and their values. So make sure to watch the complete video and find out if you have one of these. Now let's continue our today's video. Top 1. Today's video is not about gold bars or ancient treasures, but about a simple pocket change coin that many people spent without a second thought. A coin that represents American heritage, state pride, and hidden value. We are talking about the United States of America state quarter dollar from Kentucky, released in 2001. This Kentucky state quarter is part of the famous 50 state quarters program launched by the U.S. Mint to celebrate each state's unique history and culture. When Kentucky's turn arrived, collectors and the general public were excited, but very few realized that this quarter would later become one of the most talked about modern coins among serious collectors. Kentucky is known as the Bluegrass State, famous for horse racing, bourbon, and deep American roots. The design of the 2001 Kentucky quarter reflects this identity beautifully. On the reverse side, you can see a powerful image of a thoroughbred horse behind a fence, symbolizing Kentucky's legendary horse farms. Alongside it appears the historic Federal Hill Mansion, famously known as My Old Kentucky Home. This design alone makes the coin emotionally valuable to collectors who appreciate American culture and state history. The obverse side carries the familiar portrait of George Washington, but don't let the common look fool you. What makes this quarter special is not just the design, but what happened during its production. Millions were minted, yet only a tiny fraction stand out due to rare conditions, minting flaws, and preservation quality that elevate them far above face value. One of the most important factors in the Kentucky quarter's high collector interest is mint errors. Some coins were struck with off-center designs, where parts of the image are shifted or missing. Others show double die errors, where letters or numbers appear doubled due to a misalignment during the minting process. These doubling effects can often be seen on the date, the word Liberty, or even in the fine details of the horse and fence. Another highly prized error includes clipped planchets, where a piece of the coin's edge is missing due to a mistake in cutting the metal blanks. There are also examples with weak strikes, missing layers, or unusual texture flaws that occurred during high-speed minting. These mistakes were never meant to leave the mint, but a few slipped into circulation and became legendary among collectors. Condition plays an equally critical role. Most Kentucky quarters were heavily circulated, scratched, and worn down over time. Finding one in pristine, uncirculated condition with full original luster is already difficult. When such condition is combined with a genuine mint error, the value increases dramatically. Coins graded at the highest levels by professional grading services are extremely rare and fiercely competed for at auctions. Collectors also value the story behind the coin. This quarter represents the early era of modern U.S. commemorative coinage, when everyday people began searching their change for hidden treasures. It sparked a new generation of collectors, and the Kentucky quarter became one of the memorable issues from that era. If you have a 2001 Kentucky state quarter, don't rush to spend it. Examine it closely under good light. Look for unusual spacing, double details, missing metal, or anything that seems out of the ordinary. Even small differences can mean a massive jump in collector interest. This is why coin lovers should always listen carefully and never underestimate modern coins. History, rarity, mistakes, and condition can turn an everyday object into a life-changing discovery. The Kentucky state quarter is proof that valuable treasures can still be hiding in plain sight. So keep searching your pockets, old jars, and collections. A rare error version of the United States of America Kentucky state quarter from 2001, in exceptional condition, has been known to reach a value as high as $92,000. Top 2. We are exploring the United States of America state quarter dollar from New Hampshire. Released in the year 2000, this quarter was issued as part of the historic 50 state quarters program, a project that changed the way people looked at everyday coins. For the first time in generations, Americans began checking their pocket change, searching for designs from different states. When New Hampshire's quarter entered circulation, it stood out immediately because of its powerful and symbolic design. New Hampshire is known as the Granite State, famous for its rugged landscapes, independent spirit, and strong role in American history. The reverse side of the coin features the iconic Old Man of the Mountain, a natural granite rock formation that once towered over Franconia Notch. Beside it appears the state motto, "Live free or die," a phrase that perfectly captures the bold and fearless identity of New Hampshire. This design alone makes the coin emotionally valuable to collectors who appreciate symbolism and American heritage. What makes this quarter even more special is that the Old Man of the Mountain collapsed just 3 years after the coin was released. That means this quarter preserves the image of a natural landmark that no longer exists. For many collectors, this turns the coin into a historical snapshot, frozen in time, and that emotional connection adds to its desirability. On the obverse side, the familiar portrait of George Washington appears, but as with many valuable coins, the real story lies beyond the surface. Millions of New Hampshire quarters were minted, yet only a very small number stand out due to rare minting errors and exceptional condition. These are the coins that collectors actively hunt for. One of the most valuable factors is mint errors. Some New Hampshire quarters were struck with double die errors, where letters and numbers appear doubled due to misalignment during the striking process. These doubling effects can often be seen in the date, the word liberty, or the state motto. Such errors are highly prized because they are genuine mistakes that cannot be replicated. Other rare errors include off-center strikes, where the design is shifted and not properly aligned, leaving blank areas on the coin. There are also clipped planchet errors, where part of the coin's edge is missing due to an error in the cutting of the metal blank. Some examples even show unusual surface textures, weak strikes, or missing layers, all caused by high-speed minting imperfections. Condition is equally important. Most New Hampshire quarters entered heavy circulation and quickly picked up scratches, dents, and wear. Finding one in uncirculated condition with full original shine is already difficult. Finding one that also has a rare mint error is extremely rare. Coins graded at the highest levels by professional grading services are scarce, and when they appear at auctions, competition among collectors is intense. Collectors are drawn not only to rarity, but also to the story behind the coin. This quarter represents the early days of modern U.S. coin collecting, when families searched through jars of change and young collectors discovered the excitement of numismatics. The New Hampshire quarter became one of the most meaningful issues in the series because of its design, message, and historical timing. If you own a New Hampshire state quarter from the year 2000, do not ignore it. Examine it carefully under good lighting. Look for doubling, missing metal, unusual alignment, or anything that looks different from a normal coin. Small details can make a massive difference in value. This is why every coin lover should listen carefully and enjoy the process of discovery. Hidden treasures are not always ancient or made of gold. Sometimes they are hiding in plain sight, waiting for someone who knows what to look for. A rare error example of the United States of America New Hampshire state quarter dollar from the year 2000, preserved in exceptional condition, has reached a value as high as $88,000. Top 3. We are uncovering the story, rarity, and collector appeal of the United States of America quarter dollar from Guam. Released in the year 2009, the Guam quarter was issued as part of the District of Columbia and U.S. Territories Quarters Program. This program followed the famous State Quarters series and introduced designs representing American territories. When the Guam quarter entered circulation, many people spent it without hesitation, unaware that this coin would later gain strong attention among modern coin collectors. Guam holds a unique place in American history. Located in the western Pacific Ocean, it is the largest and southernmost island of the Mariana Islands and has long been a vital strategic location for the United States. The design of the Guam quarter reflects this heritage beautifully. On the reverse side, the coin features a traditional Chamorro flying prow, a sleek ocean canoe that represents the island's deep connection to the sea. In the background, you can see Hagåtña Bay, along with a palm tree in the outline of the island itself. The inscription Guam and the phrase, "Where America's Day Begins," add a powerful cultural identity to the design. This artwork makes the Guam quarter instantly recognizable and emotionally meaningful to collectors. It represents not only American territory, but also indigenous culture, ocean navigation, and island pride. Coins that carry strong symbolism often become favorites among collectors, especially when paired with rarity. While millions of Guam quarters were minted, very few have survived in exceptional condition. Most were heavily circulated, mixed with everyday pocket change, and exposed to scratches, wear, and environmental damage. As a result, finding a Guam quarter with sharp details, full luster, and no visible wear is already difficult. When collectors find one in pristine condition, it immediately attracts attention. The real excitement begins when mint errors come into play. Some Guam quarters were struck with rare double die errors, causing letters or design elements to appear doubled. This doubling can sometimes be seen in the date, the word Liberty, or even in parts of the prow and lettering. These errors occur during the die creation process and are highly desirable because they cannot be reproduced. Another valuable category includes off-center strikes, where the design is not properly aligned, leaving part of the coin blank. There are also clipped planchet errors, where a section of the coin's edge is missing due to a mistake during the cutting of the metal blank. Some examples show weak strikes, missing layers, or unusual surface textures caused by mechanical errors during high-speed production. Collectors value these mistakes because they represent moments when the minting process failed. Each error coin tells a story of imperfection, and no two are exactly alike. When such an error is combined with high-grade preservation, the value can rise dramatically. Professional grading plays a major role as well. Guam quarters that have been authenticated and graded at the highest levels by reputable grading services are extremely scarce. When one appears at auction, collectors often compete fiercely, driving prices upward. These coins are no longer just currency. They become historical artifacts from the modern era of U.S. coinage. What makes this coin especially appealing is that it belongs to a short and unique program. The U.S. Territory series had limited designs, and each one represents a place many Americans have never visited but are curious about. The Guam quarter stands out because of its elegant design and cultural depth. If you have a Guam quarter from 2009, do not dismiss it. Examine it carefully under proper lighting. Look for doubling, misalignment, missing metal, or anything unusual. Even the smallest detail can transform an ordinary coin into a major collector piece. This is why coin lovers should listen very carefully and enjoy the thrill of discovery. Valuable coins are not always ancient or made of precious metals. Sometimes they are hiding in plain sight, waiting for the right eyes to recognize them. That a rare error example of the United States of America Guam quarter dollar from the year 2009, preserved in exceptional condition, has been known to reach a value as high as $85,000. Top 4, we are talking about a modern American quarter that many people have held in their hands without ever realizing its hidden potential. It is a coin tied to rugged landscapes, frontier spirit, and a surprising level of collector demand. This is the story of the United States of America state quarter dollar from Nevada. Released in the year 2006, the Nevada quarter was issued as part of the famous 50 state quarters program, a historic series that brought coin collecting back into everyday conversation. When Nevada's design entered circulation, it instantly captured attention because it looked bold, wild, and different. Yet despite its popularity, very few people thought to preserve these coins carefully, and that decision plays a major role in why certain examples are now so valuable. Nevada is known as the Silver State, famous for its deserts, mountain ranges, and rich mining history. The reverse design of the quarter reflects this identity perfectly. It features a wild Mustang standing proudly in the foreground, symbolizing freedom, strength, and the untamed spirit of the American West. In the background, the Sierra Nevada mountain range rises with quiet power, while the inscription, "The Silver State," reinforces Nevada's historical connection to precious metal mining. This combination of imagery gives the coin strong visual appeal and emotional value for collectors. That on the obverse side, the familiar portrait of George Washington appears, just like other state quarters. But as experienced collectors know, value is often hidden in the smallest details. Although millions of Nevada quarters were produced, only a tiny fraction stand out today due to rare minting errors and exceptional preservation. One major factor that increases the value of the Nevada quarter is mint errors. Some coins were struck with double die errors, where parts of the design or lettering appear doubled. This can sometimes be seen in the date, the state name, or even subtle areas of the Mustang or mountains. These errors happen during the die preparation stage and are highly prized because they are genuine production mistakes that cannot be recreated. Another important category includes off-center strikes, where the design is not properly aligned on the coin blank. This results in part of the design being cut off and blank space appearing on the coin. There are also clipped planchet errors, where a section of the coin's edge is missing due to a cutting error before striking. Some Nevada quarters even show weak strikes, missing layers, or unusual surface textures caused by mechanical failures during the minting process. Condition is just as critical as errors. Most Nevada quarters were heavily circulated, spending years in pockets, vending machines, and cash registers. Over time, they developed scratches, dull surfaces, and worn details. Finding one in uncirculated condition with full original luster is already rare. Finding one that combines pristine condition with a genuine mint error is extremely rare. Professional grading adds another layer of importance. Nevada quarters that have been authenticated and graded at the highest levels by respected grading services are scarce. When such coins appear in private sales or auctions, collectors compete aggressively to own them. These coins are no longer viewed as spare change, but as valuable artifacts from a defining era of American coinage. Collectors are also drawn to the deeper meaning of the Nevada quarter. It represents the spirit of exploration, survival, and independence that shaped the American West. It reminds collectors of a time when the state quarters program inspired millions to search through their change, hoping to discover something special. If you have a Nevada state quarter from 2006, do not overlook it. Take a close look under good lighting and magnification. Examine the lettering, the date, the edges, and the overall alignment. Even a small irregularity can make a dramatic difference in collector value. This is why every coin lover should listen very carefully and enjoy the journey of discovery. Valuable coins are not always ancient or made of gold. Sometimes they are modern, familiar, and hiding in plain sight, waiting for the right person to recognize their worth. A rare error example of the United States of America Nevada state quarter dollar from the year 2006, preserved in exceptional condition, has reached a value as high as $81,000. Top 5. We are exploring the United States of America state quarter dollar from Alaska. Released in the year 2008, the Alaska quarter was issued as part of the historic 50 state quarters program, one of the most influential coin programs in U.S. history. By the time Alaska's design was released, the program was nearing its end, which makes this coin especially interesting. Public excitement was still strong, but many people had already stopped saving state quarters carefully. As a result, far fewer Alaska quarters were preserved in top condition compared to earlier releases. Alaska, the largest state in the United States, is known for its extreme landscapes, rich wildlife, and powerful natural presence. The reverse design of the quarter captures this spirit perfectly. It features a massive grizzly bear catching a salmon in its mouth, a dramatic scene that represents Alaska's raw wilderness and natural balance. In the background, you can sense the untouched environment that defines the state. Above the image appears the state motto, "The Great Land," a phrase that truly reflects Alaska's identity. This bold and detailed design instantly sets the Alaska quarter apart. Collectors are often drawn to coins that showcase wildlife and strong symbolism, and the Alaska quarter delivers both. However, visual appeal alone is not what turns this coin into a potential treasure. The real collector value comes from rarity, condition, and minting errors. Although millions of Alaska quarters were produced, most entered circulation immediately and experienced heavy use. Scratches, edge damage, and loss of original shine are extremely common. Finding an Alaska quarter today with sharp details, clean surfaces, and full mint luster is already a challenge. Mint errors make the story even more exciting. Some Alaska quarters were struck with double die errors, causing parts of the lettering or design to appear doubled. This doubling may be visible in the date, the word Liberty, or subtle areas of the bear and salmon. These errors occur during the die creation process and are highly valued because they represent true production mistakes. Other rare errors include off-center strikes, where the design is not properly aligned on the coin blank, leaving empty space along the edge. There are also clipped planchet errors, where a portion of the coin's edge is missing due to an error during the cutting of the metal blank. In some cases, collectors have found weak strikes, missing layers, or unusual surface textures caused by mechanical problems during minting. Each error tells a story. These coins were never meant to exist in this form, yet they escaped quality control and entered circulation. Because no two error coins are exactly the same, collectors treat them as unique pieces of modern numismatic history. Condition remains one of the most critical factors. Alaska quarters that have been professionally graded in the highest condition levels are extremely scarce. When a coin combines exceptional preservation with a genuine mint error, it becomes highly desirable. At auctions and private sales, collectors often compete intensely for such examples, pushing values far beyond what most people would expect from a modern quarter. The Alaska quarter also carries emotional value. It represents the final chapter of the state quarters program, a time when millions of people searched their change and rediscovered the excitement of coin collecting. For many collectors, this coin symbolizes exploration, nature, and the enduring appeal of American coinage. If you have an Alaska state quarter from 2008, do not ignore it. Examine it closely under good lighting and, if possible, magnification. Look carefully at the lettering, the date, the edges, and the overall alignment. Even the smallest detail can separate an ordinary coin from a remarkable one. This is why coin lovers should listen very carefully and enjoy every detail. Valuable coins are not always ancient or made of precious metals. Sometimes they are modern, familiar, and hiding quietly in plain sight, waiting to be discovered. A rare error example of the United States of America Alaska state quarter dollar from the year 2008, preserved in exceptional condition, has been known to reach a value as high as $78,000. If you're enjoying these hidden coin stories and want to keep discovering rare and valuable treasures, don't forget to like this video, share it with fellow coin lovers, and subscribe to the channel. Turn on the notification bell so you never miss our next exciting coin discovery. Your support helps the channel grow and brings more amazing coin stories your way.